Shabbosai, stay tuned. There's a Gavaldiga podcast. Rabbi Steve Geller does a Gavaldiga Zach, and that'll be coming out this week. Torah Giants on Chumash. Shalom Uvrach, and welcome to the weekly piece on the parsha from Torah Giants on Chumash, written by Rabbi Yitzchoks, Mayor Goodman, the Rabbi Emeritus of Yemizrach Rockaway. Sit back and enjoy.
Welcome to Torah Giants on Chumash. I'm Steve Geller. Often we find episodes in the Torah that are hard to understand simply from the psukim describing them. Chazal fill in many of the gaps, adding color that gives us a bigger, clearer, higher definition understanding. The episode in our parsha of Yitzchoks mistakenly giving Esav's bracha to Yaakov is a perfect example. In our parsha, this is the bracha that Yaakov stole from Esav. And may Hashem give you of the dew of heaven and of the fatness of the land and abundance of grain and wine. People will serve you and nations will bow to you. Be master over your brothers, and your mother's sons will bow to you. Those who cursed you are cursed, and those who bless you are blessed. When we finally read this bracha that both brothers sought, we find that it emphasizes prosperity and power. However, considering the bracha that Yitzchak gave Yaakov later, as he was leaving home, may Hashem bless you, make you fruitful and multiply, and may you become a host of nations. May he give you the bracha of Avraham to you and your descendants with you, that you may inherit the land of your dwelling, which Hashem gave to Avraham. The disputed first bracha pales in comparison to the second one given to Yaakov as he was leaving home. This is because Yitzchak always recognized Yaakov as his spiritual heir and reserved that final bracha for him. But he envisioned Esav, whose inherent talents made him a great provider and protector, as the secular head of the brothers' combined dominion. In Komens HaMincha, Rav Chanoch Ehrentreu attributes Yitzchak's appreciation of Esav to his own passivity. While Avraham battled a mighty army, Yitzchak didn't even defend his wells against a few shepherds. So like Yitzchak, Yaakov was a spiritual person who dwelled in tents. So Yitzchak found Esav's aggressiveness attractive. People often admire the traits that they lack. Yitzchak expected Yaakov to bow to his powerful elder brother as king or head of government, but it was Rivka who prophesied that Esav had no place in Jewish history and that Yaakov therefore had to receive all of Yitzchak's brachos. So when does Yitzchak finally see Esav for who he is? When Esav identifies himself to his father after Yaakov had stolen the bracha, Yitzchak trembled a very great trembling. According to a most insightful midrash quoted in Rashi, Yitzchak saw Gehenna open beneath Esav, meaning that in that moment Yitzchak abandoned his fatherly delusions and understood Esav's evil essence for the first time. For the balance of the parsha, he resists Esav's pleas for a bracha, finally throwing him a crumb. You shall live by your sword, and you shall serve your brother. When you have cause to be grieved, you will throw off his yoke from your neck. And even then, as the Kli Yakar emphasizes, casting off a yoke is far from complete dominion. So really, there is no bracha here at all. Regarding the use of God's name only in Yaakov's bracha, Rashi remarks that this name, Elohim, represents divine justice and truth. For Yaakov the tzaddik and his progeny would be blessed only if they were truly deserving. Esav's blessing was unconditional, however, for if the wicked suffer, they immediately cry foul and rant against God, whereas the tzaddik accepts the judgment of heaven without complaining. Likewise, Shlomo HaMelech requests that Hashem accept a Gentile's prayer unconditionally, but grant the Jews only what they deserve. But why this distinction? Just because the tzaddik does not complain, should we let him suffer? Rather, as the Musar volumes all clarify, the tzaddik's trials in this world clear the way for his great reward in the world to come. His faith in the face of suffering only increases this reward. But the Rush's occasional goodness is acknowledged in this world only, not only to silence his ranting, but to leave him without merit in the next world where he will receive his punishment. The Chafetz Chaim, Rav Yisrael Meir Kagan, writes in Al HaTorah that we must be firm in our faith in God's judgment. This is the meaning in Chavakuk that in a sense, a tzaddik lives by his faith, for by living through the tribulations of this world, he merits life in the next. As the well-known story goes, the Chafetz Chaim once asked a fellow Jew how he was. The Jew answered, "Could be better," to which the Chafetz Chaim responded, in complete faith, "How do you know? Everything Hashem does is the best thing for us. Anything else would be worse." And I can tell you something that would be worse, and that's if you don't like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and worse still, if you don't hit the share button to copy the link to this video, which allows you to simply paste that link into emails, Facebook, texts, WhatsApp groups, or your social media of choice. I mean, what's worse than not fulfilling the mitzvah of Talmud Torah? God forbid. And finally, this YouTube channel began as a labor of love. About 20 years ago, Rabbi Goodman gave me his set of Sefarim on the commentary on Chumash, and I was really blown away by the quality of the hand-picked pieces that Rabbi Goodman assembled over his lifetime, and the sheer number of sources of those pieces. There's literally no other source for the quality and breadth of the Torah found here, which is why my family renamed and reprinted the Sefarim, making sure people would understand the treasure that it is. I'm only mentioning this now because I have such great hakaras hatov, profound appreciation to you for the fact that this week the YouTube channel achieved our 300th subscriber. With no marketing at all, Rabbi Goodman's Torah is proving itself invaluable, and you all have helped make this channel successful. May we all merit together to keep learning and growing and supporting each other in all good things.